So I was really thinking for a while, like, God's creations are really not to be messed with. Like, we can really study them, of course, but when we really think about just the entire ocean as a whole, or space, or really existence itself, like, it's really difficult to think about. Like, I was looking somewhere, and somehow, some way, out of all the ocean water here on Earth, knowing that there's like mountains and volcanoes and caves underwater, after realizing all that, somehow Google AI says that the deepest part of the ocean is only 7 miles deep, which I don't believe that at all. Just my opinion, though. I just don't find that believable. And then you think about space as well, and the planets in our solar system. And why am I bringing this up, right? Well, I'm bringing it up because there's just some things that God creates that we can't really fully understand. And to be quite honest with you, it's not really on us to understand, because we're not on that high level of divine power and authority. What I'm saying? We're just basic human beings. And I was having a discussion with my mother and my sister. I'm like, well, God ordained for life, to be on planet Earth specifically, right? Just like it says in Genesis chapter 1, verses 1, the first book of the Bible. God created the heavens and the earth. Obviously, Earth is the only planet in our solar system that can even sustain life. Plants, animals, human beings, just life in general. And somehow, some way, I don't know if it's still going on, but there's been talks for a while of, the possibility of human life going to go live on Mars or just any other planet, which just doesn't even make sense, because you wouldn't even survive on any other planet. Like, that's the crazy thing that you have to think about. If we were on any other planet in the solar system, we would die before we even get there, or we die instantly and be vaporized the second we even get to that planet, right? Earth is literally the only planet that can sustain life, and it's because God ordained for it to be that way, right? So when we try, and when I say we, I mean like the world. So I don't mean like we as in like me or you or anybody specifically, but when we as a civilization, as a world, think about ideas to try and go and sustain life on other planets and try and live on other planets, that's just going outside of God's creation, because obviously we weren't meant to live on other planets. What I'm saying? Because think about it like this: if God made every planet in the solar system just a bunch of Earths, there's no doubt in my mind that humans would just try and go and live on other planets. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, let's just say the moon was another Earth. Humans would try and go and live there. It only takes like 3 or 4 days to get to the moon from Earth. You don't think if the moon was another Earth planet, people wouldn't try and go from this Earth to that one? You know what I mean? But God made each other planet dangerous and toxic so that I feel like we don't go there, right? Because here's the thing. And I looked up reasons that humans physically cannot go and live on other planets. And here's what I got, right? Again, this is all Google AI. So for Mercury, 800 degrees Fahrenheit during the day and negative 290 degrees Fahrenheit at night. Can't live there. Can't live on Venus. 900 degrees Fahrenheit, toxic atmosphere. Can't live there. Can't live on Mars. Toxic atmosphere, average temperature is negative 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Exposed to high radiation. So obviously you can't live on Mars, which that was like the only planet that people for a long time believed where humans could live, and it's like, no, okay. Like, you're going outside of God's boundaries at that point. Plus, you just can't live there. It's toxic. Jupiter. First of all, Jupiter doesn't even have a ground. Like, bro, like, it's literally just a ball of gas. I didn't know that. I mean, I knew that it was like a gas giant, but it's just a big ball of gas. That's crazy. And like that little red dot on it, that dot is basically just, it's an ongoing storm that's wider than Earth itself. That's crazy. Like, there's no way. So obviously you can't live there. Saturn, temperature is near negative 292 degrees Fahrenheit. Uranus, negative 371 degrees Fahrenheit. Toxic gas, severe winds. And it's the coldest planet in the solar system. Then you got Neptune, right? Severe winds, 1,200 miles per hour. Fastest winds in the solar system. Like, there's just no way that we could even think about sustaining life on other planets, right? When Earth, it's perfect. God made it for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty clear that God only made Earth for us. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like he made the other planets, you know, so toxic so that we don't even try and go there. You know what I mean? But at the same time, the way that he's created those planets is just, it's so crazy, because he's created each planet distinct and different from each other. So they're dangerous, but they're cool in a way. Not in a way that I want to go visit it, because not that we'd ever reach it, because those planets are way the heck out there. So we wouldn't even, man, it'd take us years or light years, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, but I just know that we probably couldn't even reach each other planets. But the whole point is just like, Earth is the only planet that can sustain life itself, you know, which is pretty cool to me. So yeah, the point is that, you know, let's try and not put humans on other planets, because it's gonna fail very miserably. So let's stay in, what word am I looking for here? Let's stay in alignment for what God has created and what he has said. So yeah, I'm out.